Morning, everybody. I'm Ben Gibson. I wish I'd be a former collegiate swimmer and I'd have a chiseled physique instead of this thing you see up on stage. Actually, I'm Calvin Rowland, and I want to thank David, actually. He could not have teed up my presentation better. And we're going to amplify a number of the themes that he shared with us. But before I get into it, I'm going to ground my presentation on where F5 got its start in its journey to the cloud from a go-to-market perspective. When we started on our journey to the cloud, we had a really simple mission. Our mission was to meet customers wherever they needed to be met, wherever they were deploying their applications, to make sure that those applications got the services that they required, whatever that construct was. And so what we had was an any cloud strategy. Any cloud a customer deploys its applications, we will be there to make sure that they get the services that they need. So we had an any cloud strategy, and as we executed on that any cloud strategy, what we learned was that a number of customers, and over time an increasing percentage, a growing percentage of customers, were in fact wanting to pursue a multi-cloud strategy. And so the question before us is, how do you do that? How do you succeed in a multi-cloud world? Now, in my intro there, I said a very important word. Sure, I said cloud, but the important word is applications. Whenever we talk about some new enterprise computing phenomenon, whenever we talk about a new way that we are deploying IT technology, including the cloud, it always comes back to applications. What are we doing to do a better job to ensure that our application portfolio is getting nourished in the way that will allow us to conduct our business as effectively as possible? Applications have transformed the way we do business. They have changed the way we engage in commerce. They've changed the way we run our very lives. But applications, by the way, are going through transformation as well. And this transformation is being driven by three key factors: how they're being developed, how they're being accessed, and where they're being deployed. And regardless of these three transformational factors, users have the expectation, reasonable or otherwise, that they work very, very well, that they are fast, that they are smart, and that they are safe. Easy, right? No problem. Well, we're going to talk about that. And when we talk about it, we're going to ground ourselves in how they're being deployed in the cloud. Here's what we know. We know that no two journeys to the cloud are the same. Whether it's private cloud on-prem, private cloud that's enabled in a co-location facility like Equinix, or in the public cloud, no two organizations are going to the cloud in the same way. Nor is there just one cloud. IDC tells us that 85% of organizations are committed to a multi-cloud strategy. Committed. Why? What's driving them? Well, there's any number of things. It could be a concern about data loss, data center downtime. They could have concerns about data sovereignty or compliance requirements. Any number of idiosyncratic application requirements, be they technical or economic, is driving this phenomenon. And so we look forward to a multi-cloud world. But let's take a look back to the past, actually, real quick. It wasn't that long ago. Not that long ago, we deployed all applications and its supporting infrastructure in a physical data center. It had 4 walls. It had a floor. And it might have been raised. It might not have been. It had air conditioning. It was comfortable in there. We knew what we were doing. It was manageable. It could be controlled. It was simple. But now, applications are being deployed all over the map. In private clouds on-prem, private clouds and co-location facilities, public cloud postures that are enabled by cloud interconnect technology. And, in fact, we are seeing organizations that will have multiple private or multiple public cloud infrastructures and strategies. So I'll ask again, what's driving this? I gave you some specific examples before, and they're all true, but I think there's a more important meta-phenomenon that's taking place. And that meta-phenomenon is this. The market your organizations have an insatiable appetite for more and more and more applications. It's never going to go the other way. It's going to be more and more and more. And this is in a world where we're not getting increased human capital or commensurately larger CapEx budgets to satisfy that hunger. And so we're looking for new ways. We're looking for new efficiencies. And that's what's driving this multi-cloud phenomenon. That is what is causing cloud sprawl. More specifically, multi-cloud sprawl. Now, we've seen this movie before, by the way. We saw it with virtualization, the virtualization of applications and data centers. We saw a proliferation, a sprawl, if you will, of virtual machine technology. In that phenomenon, though, the environments were well understood, they were under control, they were well managed. But now, with organizations pursuing multiple clouds, with multiple cloud sprawl, what we are seeing is far too often, they aren't well managed. They're difficult to control. Why is that? Well, the first thing you need to understand is that every cloud has its own application architectural construct. Every cloud is managed differently. Every cloud has a different operations construct with differing layers of visibility. So that in and itself introduces a layer of complexity. Also, as David mentioned, we now have this multitude of powerful tool sets that are being utilized. The likes of Ansible, Puppet, Chef, container technology like Mesos and Kubernetes, analytics technology from vendors like Splunk. Powerful tools doing important work, but that's another layer of complexity that's been introduced into the multi-cloud construct. You get this multiplying effect. Also, application owners, multiple owners, and a different kind of owner introduces complexity. We have a different kind of owner now. You have lines of business that are driving application decisions. The implication is then that you have application developers and architects that are working outside the normal Venn diagram that is IT organizational science. The IT org is put under pressure as a result of that. Also, regarding multiple owners, what do I mean by that? You have application architects, cloud architects, SecOps, all asserting some level of authority and ownership over the application posture. Whether that's real or perceived, it doesn't matter. They're making the assertion. Regardless of all of that, NetOps is still on the hook to ensure that the applications get the services and the security services that they require. So we're adding layers and layers of complexity into the multi-cloud environment. You end up in a world where every application gets its own handcrafted services in each cloud independent of one another. Multiple clouds, multiple application services. Can you pull this off? That's the rhetorical question. And the answer is, maybe. You might, but not easily. Not easily. More likely, what is going to happen is as we pursue multi-cloud methodologies to satisfy that insatiable appetite for more and more applications, we end up actually diluting the value of the cloud. We end up slowing down our progress, which is ironic given the reason that we pursued a multi-cloud posture in the first place. We end up with environments that are not just complex, they actually end up being inadequate. They end up being inadequate for the purpose that we are trying to serve. Now, a quick point about native services in public clouds. They are designed very well, very effectively to be convenient. And they are. They are convenient. They do that job very, very well. But often, what we have come to learn from our customers, they do not have the enterprise-grade services that they need. And then also, because those services have been purpose-built for that specific cloud, by definition, they are not portable. Also, application security services are bespoke. They are unique for a given application requirements. Every application is idiosyncratic. They're like snowflakes. From far away, they all look the same. But when you get up close, they're all different, and they all have their own security requirements. Well, how do you apply appropriate security services for every application in a multi-cloud world in a way that can be managed? How do you avoid losing control? And by the way, a point about security in the cloud. Clouds will correctly, in a factually correct way, they will assert, we have a secure cloud. They do, they have to. That is table stakes. Of course they have a secure cloud. In the next breath, though, after making that assertion, they will say, but it is your responsibility to make sure that your application is secure. That is true as well. That is not a CYA statement. That is prudence. It is your application, and at the end of the day, you are on the hook to ensure that you have a secure application in the cloud. And so again, I'll ask the question, in a multi-cloud world, how do you avoid losing control? Losing control of your security posture and losing control of your application services posture. How do you avoid losing control? Now, this is the part of the presentation where you start to say, Calvin, are you telling me that it's so hard that I shouldn't be pursuing a multi-cloud architectural strategy? Are you telling me that although it's really attractive, I shouldn't go forward because of all this complexity? And if you're familiar with the 3-act play, you know I'm teeing up the start of Act 3. You know that the answer is, of course, no! Of course! You should be moving boldly, confidently forward. You should not be looking back, you should only be looking forward, because we're here to help. We give you the freedom to deploy any application anywhere with consistent application services and security. We have developed a methodology, a portfolio of technologies that enables you to execute on a consistent way to ensure that all of your applications, irrespective of where they're deployed, get the application services and the application security services that they need. We have extended the portfolio of F5 services into every cloud construct, public clouds, cloud interconnect, container environments, and the private cloud. Let's double click on public cloud. So with the public cloud, this is going to be a no-dust statement. What we learn as a result of customer intimacy, feedback is a gift, our customers wanted the F5 solutions that they cared the most about in the clouds that they cared the most about. So of course we started with AWS and Azure. But we didn't just stop with presence in those clouds. I mean, step one is to be present, of course, with BYOL and then pay-as-you-go utility models. Those were starting lines, not finish lines. And so from there, we executed on R&D innovation, asking ourselves, okay, what are the combinations of services and implementation models that customers are going to care the most about? Let's templatize those. Let's create cloud formation templates to create a mode 2 frictionless-like experience with F5 in these clouds. An example of that was Azure, is WAF in the Azure Security Center. We've created WAF templates in Azure and now in AWS as well. And we've gone beyond that. Hopefully, you saw that we recently announced that we are now in the Google Cloud Platform as well. And we are going to execute the exact same playbook in Google that I just described for AWS and Azure. And by the way, we're not stopping there. We will be adding logos to this slide. There are people in Seattle and San Jose right now, as I am speaking on this stage, maybe a couple here in Chicago as well, working diligently so we can add another logo to this slide. I can't tell you who it is, even though I really want to. I really want to. You can try and liquor me up tonight. I'm not going to tell you. Keep your eyes on the F5 newsroom. okay? Just know that it's coming. Cloud interconnect. I love this architecture. I love even more the technology that makes it sing, and that's the application connector. The application connector is something you have an opportunity to learn a great deal more about this week. I know it's going to be mentioned in another keynote. I know there are labs, but I'm going to talk about it a little bit up here on stage. What the application connector does at the highest level is it enables you to seamlessly insert F5 services from a co-location facility like Equinix into public cloud instances in one or multiple public clouds. You automatically tunnel back the services after identifying the public cloud instance using the application connector. And this provides a great deal of flexibility for your cloud journey, your multi-cloud journey. A couple of examples with the technology and the architecture. It allows you to have a better security posture, for example. It prevents you from having to put your encryption keys in the cloud. You can keep them resident on the big IP in Equinix, for example. Another benefit is economic. It allows you, with this architecture, to avoid data egress charges. You get better technology, you get better flexibility, and you get a better economic model. What I like about this at the highest level is it puts you in control of your journey to the cloud, be it to one or many. You get to go to the cloud in a way that makes sense for your business, not in a way that is being overtly prescribed by another technology vendor. It makes you the arbiter of your own cloud journey. What about container environments? We have creative solutions there as well. The container connectors that we have allow you to insert F5 services into Mesos and Kubernetes environments. So now we're not just applying services to north-south workflows, but to east-west as well. And with our lightweight application services proxy, you can develop, test, and deploy applications in containers as well as clouds. And with the private cloud, this is where we've been dwelling the longest as it relates to cloud implementations. A great deal of experience and efficacy in this space, as you surely know. We, of course, have our cloud-ready Big IP I-Series, the first Big IP produced with a cloud-first mentality, knowing that our customers want and should make the transition to the cloud. Related to that, we have been putting a lot of R&D effort for over 2 years now, working in concert with Cisco and VMware to make sure that F5 services can easily be inserted into ACI and NSX environments, full service insertion in these fabric and SDN architectures that are enabling private clouds. Now, as a result of having a great deal of experience with private clouds for a few years now, we've learned a few things. Maybe we've stubbed our toes a few times, but we've gotten a lot smarter. We know what the most common implementation desires are. And so we take a step back, you look at the data, you engage with customer and market intimacy, and we've identified that we have an opportunity to create packages for the most common implementation models. And so the anchor private cloud package we produced for OpenStack was done in collaboration with our gold level sponsor, Red Hat, produced the market's first ADC-driven private cloud package. And we've received a lot of positive feedback for this private cloud package, so much so that we know that we're on to something. We are going to be rinsing and repeating this model over and over again. We're going to be doing more private cloud packages as well as cloud solution templates. So, as it relates to the complexities that serve as barriers to pursuing a multi-cloud architecture, we've done the heavy lifting. We have the technology. We've created a portfolio of technology and services and packages to enable organizations to successfully move forward at pace with a multi-cloud architectural strategy. We've done the work, and we feel great about it. Public clouds, cloud interconnect, container environments, and private clouds as well. We've done the work. But there's one more thing. There's one more thing that is needed to actually pull this off. There's one more critical element that is required for your organization to make this successful. And that thing is you. That thing is you. This is my favorite slide, by the way. One of these slides is not like the others. As a result of being engaged in the marketplace and trying to help organizations satisfy that insatiable appetite for more and more applications, as a result of that hunger that needs to be fed, pursuing multi-cloud strategies, we have identified two very concrete things. The first one is the network has to evolve. All right, that's on us. We've done that work. The second thing is the NetOps profession has to evolve. The NetOps profession has to evolve. There is a new set of skills that we have identified that is required to enable the elimination of the complexities for a multi-cloud architecture. And that is a set of skills that we are calling Super NetOps. Super NetOps. You have the opportunity as a NetOps professional, actually the responsibility to develop this portfolio of Super NetOps skills. So you ask, okay, all right, I'm listening. How do I develop those skills? Well, we've done that work as well. We have developed a series of free online training that will allow you to begin and complete your journey to becoming a Super NetOps professional. In fact, I'm pleased to announce that right now, today, at this moment, you can go on your phone, go to f5.com/supernetops, and you can download the first of 5 free modules of training. If you want to learn more about this, look for anybody here at the show that's wearing a blinking green lapel pin that is the Super NetOps logo, or look for anybody that is wearing one of these Super NetOps t-shirts. In fact, there you go, Ronan. I know people are going to want to talk to you about Super NetOps. Look for anybody in one of those shirts. They will be happy to talk to you in detail about what this online training is, what the persona of Super NetOps is. They're eager to talk to you. And in fact, if you want to talk to somebody really smart about this, look for Hitesh. All right? Look for Hitesh from F5. He's wearing the shirt right now. I hope he is. He'll be easy to find. He's going to be the guy in the bar tonight, surrounded by NetOps professionals that want to learn about Super NetOps. So make sure you get your time with him. So we're really pleased about this, and we want you to take advantage of your time here to learn about this. So, in summation, the world wants to be multi-cloud. There are complexities that are preventing that from happening as quickly as it could or should. We've done our part with the technology. We've got the technology, we have the services, we have the packages, but you ultimately are what's going to make it happen. Please, please take advantage of your time here at the show to learn about Super NetOps, how you can satisfy your organization's demand. Enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.